Hi viewers, this is Brent. Thanks to all my subscribers and viewers for watching the videos. And today I have a piece of Peridot here that I'm going to cut and polish. I'm also going to be setting this into a ring that I casted a while back. So this will be just a round brilliant, and I've got to be careful with this one. I've got to make it exactly around 5.2 millimeter in diameter, so this is kind of referred to as a calibrated stone. And I'm going to using some putty here on a targeting dop. I also use a magnet underneath the putty so I can slide it around and position it just as I want to. If you don't have the magnet, the putty just stays on the targeting dop and it's hard to move around and shift. But putting the magnet there makes it so it still will stick to it, the steel, but I can shift it around until I get it just right. Okay, here I've lowered the dop down in the transfer jig and touched the epoxy, and I'll let that set up here. I've let that set up overnight, and I'm ready to start cutting now. So we'll put it into the machine and get started, but first I must look up the cutting angles for Peridot on this chart I have. And the 43 is the crown angle, 39 is the pavilion angle, the bottom of the stone. And here I've set my angle on my digital display on my Ultratech machine for 39 degrees. And I'm also using a Beal Woolley down indicator meter also. So I have both of those working to help me out. And you can see I'm cutting down from around 39.3, and the cutting is fast with Peridot. It's pretty soft. It goes pretty quick. You can see it's coming right down to 39.0 pretty quick, and that'll be my stopping point. And I'm using a 600 grit lap here. Here I've cut the main facets. Next I'm going to start rounding the stone, and I've got to cut it down, as I said, to the proper diameter to fit the ring. So it's got to go down to 5.2 millimeter. So I've got to cut a little bit and then measure the stone, cut some more, measure the stone, and eventually I'll get it to where I need it to be, and then I will polish. I'm not going to facet the girdle, I'm just going to leave it a smooth girdle, but it's going to be semi-polished. I'm going to stop at 8,000 grit, which will be just fine for this. So here I'm going to measure this and see where I'm at. And it looks like I'm still around 6.4, 6.5 millimeter, so I still have to go down another millimeter to get where I need to be. Okay, now I'm getting right to where I need to be with my diameter, 5.2. So I will stop there, and I'm going to move on to pre-polishing the main facets with an 8,000 grit pre-charged lightning lap resin bonded disc. And it works pretty good for these softer stones. I've decided lightning lap is not the best for anything over a 7 to 7.5 hardness, but it's doing a fine job on this Peridot. And once I do the mains, I will go ahead and do the break facets with the same lap. Here I've started to polish, and I'm using 60,000 grit diamond on a bat tin lap for that. And here we've got the completed pavilion. It's completely polished with the bat lap. and I'm very happy with the way that turned out. Alright, the next step will be the transfer of the gemstone from one dot stick to another. Okay, here we are starting. We have completed the transfer and the glue has dried. Here I have cut the 8 main facets of the crown. And what I'll do next is pre-polish them here on the 8000 lap. Here are the pre-polished facets with the 8000 grit lap, and next I will cut the star facets, and I had to use a 1200 grit lap for the star facets, followed up by the 8000 grit pre-polished lightning lap. And here that's all completed. Actually, in this clip I have done the polishing too with the bat lap and 60,000 diamond. And that all turned out pretty good, no problems there. And okay, we've gone on here to polishing the table, cutting and polishing of the table facet. And this is the final polishing of the facet, using the bat lap once again. Okay, here we have the finished gemstone. A nice round brilliant cut, inclusion free 5mm Peridot gemstone. I want to thank my friend Dean for sending me this piece of Peridot. It's a really nice piece. Some of the cleanest material I've seen in a while for the Peridot. Haven't cut any in a while, but it's a really nice piece. Thanks very much, Dean. And here's just some more clips of the finished stone. I'm going to show a clip of it on my skin so you can get a skin tone view here. Kind of how it would look against your skin or in a ring maybe. Then I'm going to show some clips of it set in the ring setting. And here we are with setting in a gold ring casting that I did a few weeks back. I took it outside to show what it looks like in daylight. I always like to try to do that because, of course, they look different inside than they do outside. Different lighting conditions make different gemstones look different. And here is the last clip of the gem and rings setting here.